tell you a story. Young Executive Forum. Later on, we knew it was called that. Before then, what we used to do as young journalists was to come to a walk-in restaurant at Circle, where we knew a particular day you guys come there from 4 o'clock. So we stand there and then we look at the people and we ask each other. Von Brazil, who is today Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff, was with us, with Sam Ellis and all the guys. We stand there and that's Kwabena Agyepong, that's Frank Davis, that's Patak, that's that. And then we'll argue, no, that's Philip Addison. No, that's not Philip Addison. Then Alan Martin will come once in a while, I remember.
Yeah. I mean,
what was the Young Executive Forum about?
The Young Executive Forum started about in 1989. At the time, yes. In fact, there was, you know, the Mayor Hine of Asante Hine, Dr. Osei. He's a medical officer. He's a Mayor Hine now. And he used to run a health guide. And his office was opposite the Avenida Hotel. Kojo Thompson Road.
Radio, but I never knew where it was.
Oh, Avenida Hotel, just opposite the Kojo.
Near Akufado's office?
Not too close, but on the same road.
Okay, the Nigerian Airways place?
The Nigerian Airways place. Next block to it. You got it.
All right.
You know,
Gabi Ketia used to have something there.
He had a shop there.
Yes.
A shop.
Yes.
That's where
I used to go and see him there in the 2000s.
So that's where the young ones who had relocated from Kumasi, a lot of us, Mark Menu, myself, Kandapa, Oseje, Christine Churcher, Cecilia Dapa, Dr. Heyman, a lot of us.
That's a serious squad.
Yeah, a lot of us.
This is
Kwabena Agyepong.
1990.
1991. We started meeting at Oseje's office at Kingsway.
Okay.
Kingsway building. Yeah. And then sometimes we'll meet at Dr. Ose's office.
And you were conceptualizing Young Executive Forum?
No, at that time, most of us were gyrating towards Dr. Safwadu. We were preparing for the 1992 election.
Oh,
I think at the time
Safwadu was a Kumasi giant.
Was
sort of the senior Kumasi person before Kufuor.
Well, you wouldn't say senior Kumasi. He was based in Accra.
Safwadu was based in Accra?
Yes.
But he had a lot of support from Ashanti.
Yes, because he had a big practice, medical practice in Kumasi and one in Accra as well. You know, that's when we had come together to support. We were liberals. And we felt that, you know, on the onset of politics, definitely the New Patriotic Party, most of us were right-wing liberals, and most of us supported Safwadu at the first primary in 1992. But immediately after that, we all decided to support the winner, and that is Professor Edubwai.
So did Safwadu come second?
Safwadu,
or Johnny Selby came second?
I think it was Selby who was second, Safwadu was third. You know, in
let me let my
1992.
producer.
The Young Executive Forum played a major role in the formation because we will contribute money every month.
I see.
And then
at that time, the party had not been formed. The NPP had not been formed.
We were
you say this is 1990.
Yes, we were.
Damkwabuzia Club was.
A lot of people were operating from BJ Daroche's office near the National Mosque. Abusokai, that's where BJ Daroche's office was.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
okay.
A lot of us were frequenting there with the Samuel brothers, who were also in the same.
Kakra and Penye
were in the
from Ifanspem as well.
Yes, we were in the same chambers. You know, so after the formation of the party, I mean, the contribution even to buy that first headquarters, although we had been out of political power for close to 30 years, the NPP was the first to buy an office. Yeah.
What used to be Akokomlemle?
Yes, it's still
Damboche's office.
It's still there. Yes.
Adom-Otchere. Oh, it still belongs to the NPP?
Of course, yes. It's used as a campaign center. It's still being used.
I see. I see.
Yeah, and
also you bought that property.
It was
with contributions.
Yeah, a lot of people paid money, supported it. Kofinti Menu, Alan Martin, myself with a little contribution that some of us could make. Kandapa, Oseje. And I said there were a lot of us. Dr. Heyman. You know, Dr. Osei, all of us did what we could. Mark Menu was also a member of that. Moses Osebons was the first chairman of the Young Executive Forum. You know, so at that time, the party recognized us as a wing of the party.
Okay, and the Young Executive Forum.
Yes, and we used to have 2 seats.
Oh, that's serious.
At the time, that's how come I was attending National Executive Committee meetings right from 1992.
So the party didn't have a youth like we have today for NDC and NPP?
Malik was the youth leader.
Malik Yakubu.
Malik Yakubu.
The former interior minister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Malik Yakubu. We used to go and have meetings in his house in Labone.
Labone, near Metro TV.
That's right. Yeah. He used to work at Ghana, CMB. And that's where we used to go and have our meetings at night with the likes of Kwabena, Osafo, Damboche, Abeku Dixon, and many others. you know, too many to mention.
The guys are teasing us with the photograph. Which one is this?
Oh, this is 1992. I don't know why they brought this Olympic Games in Barcelona. You can see Dr. Engman, George Aboako, myself, Kujo Monsu, Ajay
Kujo Monsu is there?
Yeah, he's wearing the Adidas. He was the Adidas rep at the time, right in the middle of the picture.
Oh, I see. Yes. So this is Barcelona 92 for the Olympic Games. So this is a sports fraternity.
Yes.
Dr. Engman was working for the Black Stars or the
Black Meteors.
The Meteors team, yeah. This is Coach Ade's team.
Yes.
Yeah, that did so well.
Yes, I was a member of the management.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
okay.
Myself, Hannibal Charles was our chairman.
Okay.
And myself,
Okay.
You know, so we were in
Barcelona. That photograph is Barcelona. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So you were telling us about Young Executive Forum being recognized as a wing of the party.
You know, as a wing of the party, and we worked hard to support the party, and that's why it's important that I keep mentioning the three things that I feel should be the anchor of politics: the spirit of service, the spirit of sacrifice, and the spirit of selflessness. The leaders that we met at the time, the likes of Kwesi Lante, like Kuman Petu, J. Addison, Stephen Kreku, Apia Minka, Donko Fojo, Jemfi Bikai, Amobediako, these guys were prepared to give their all for the sustenance of the party. And it's that dedication that appears to me to have waned significantly that I worry about in our politics. And it is something that those of us who are fortunate to have lived through the transition, to make it clear to the following generations that our party, the NPP, was fashioned out of adversity. It was created out of a struggle in this country. And you had to be courageous, even just to stand and say you are NPP. It wasn't easy, you understand. So those are the traits that we want for the future of this country. And I am passionate about that, really passionate about that, and I worry about that because it appears that it has waned. And it is something that all of us have to work hard to ensure that it comes back into our body politic. Because the impression is created nowadays, especially when you speak to the younger ones, whether it's the TESCON or the TAIN that belongs to the NDC, talk to the young people, and they are beginning to see that, oh, politics perhaps is the easiest way to
the fastest way to a Prado.
It is wrong. And we have, you know, I've seen something on the social media. It's attributed to somebody who's anonymous. And it says, no country develops if politics is more beneficial than industry.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I've not seen it, but it makes sense.
I've seen it. You know, and I think
politics rewards, it's more profitable.
More profitable than industry or business. It should be the other way around. Because politics is about service. It's about sacrifice. We have to think in the collective. The central piece of politics is about the welfare of the society, especially the underprivileged. Should provide a buffer to support those who don't have. And if you don't have empathy, you shouldn't be around politics. And that's how the conduct of political leaders, political appointees, is very critical to the sustenance of our democracy. So when I hear a lot of the young people baying out for coups, I begin to wonder. They haven't lived through it. Statistics reveal that, 61% of Ghana's population is under the age of 30. So quite clearly, they haven't seen anything. It means 6 people out of 10.
But they read it. They should have read it.
Well, reading it is not the same as living through it.
That's true.
That was the worst form of period we had. We were fortunate as kids, secondary school through university, to have seen it. Ghanaians sleeping at 6 o'clock, sleeping at 8 o'clock, sleeping at 10 o'clock for several years. In fact, the night economy in this country collapsed.
It still has not recovered.
It hasn't recovered, yes.
After 20 years.
I'm happy you know that.
I know it hasn't recovered.
Because there were times in this country where there were night workers. People were doing night shifts. All that.
And it affects the economy.
That's right.
Because we are running a 10-hour economy instead of a 24-hour.
For our economy.
Or 16-hour economy.
You know, so this is a country which is a beautiful country. I want the youth, the Ghanaian people, to recognize that this is a country worth dying for. When you hear, especially now on social media, the level of despondency, the despair that people are falling into, and the lack of confidence they have in the political architecture, it's dangerous. And I think we need to inspire them, give them hope that they are good people who can help run this country. It's absolutely vital that we do that and restore confidence.
Two questions I have for you on that one. First one will be, don't you think we are now gravitating to a very dangerous winner-takes-all situation, which is part of this problem? And number two, which is the first question I want to ask you, why was the politics at that time not politics of insults? At that time, when I started covering politics, politics of insult really truly started, in my reckoning, with the 2008 election.
You see,
even 2000 election,
the
which was
people I blame, the person I blame, maybe I'm being a bit unfair, but it's Adom-Otchere.
Oh, and Johnson has said it.
And I told him.
Oh, I think you've said that before.
Yes, I told him.
That he started that. Because the big story about 96 in terms of attacking anybody was Christine Churchill saying that she was sitting in the Twabapa. That was all. That's how far it goes.
Because Ghanaians have a culture. We respect elders, we respect ourselves, and we should not be insulting in character.
And Johnson was doing that?
Well, I remember when he said that this is a lineup of 17 thieves. And that
was the 2008 election, yes.
And I called him and I said, Asiedu, what you're doing is to run down the whole political establishment in the eyes of Ghanaians. I don't think we are thieves, and you don't have any business doing that. And the situation was compounded with my predecessor, because he came and was giving pound for pound, Sir John. You know, so
Sir John became General Secretary and was doing that, yes. Yeah. Sort of responding to Adom-Otchere.
Yeah, that's right. So, and which I think he shouldn't have. And that was one of the motivations for me to become General Secretary, to restore us back to our values and to elevate the discourse. It's a serious country of 35 million
Elevating
people.
the discourse, I like
we
that.
We have to elevate the discourse.
Joe Garte made a point before, similar to what you were saying, that when parliamentarians are calling each other thieves, what they are telling the general public is that we are thieves.
That's right.
And the general public will soon begin to say that you are thieves. And he was always worried about that.
And now, with the explosion of social media, anybody can be a presenter at his own and
be in any country.
In any country. And say the most atrocious things. Be disrespectful to authority. You can disagree with people. You can even disagree with whether the president or anybody. Disagree violently. I'm saying so in court. But be respectful. And so that is what we should do as a people. So the discourse on national radio is very bad. I remember when I was General Secretary, and I came under attack because I called out some party people who went outside to attack President Mahama and called him a thief in Europe. And I said they were wrong. He's the president of the country. He's representing us outside, and we can criticize him in here with all that gusto that we can muster. But as a Ghanaian, if you see your Ghanaian president outside and you are insulting him, you are disrespecting yourself.
We didn't used to have that. When now presidents travel, then there's a group of people.
So
you recently I went to America.
I remember.
To counter it.
I remember that when I was being attacked, I had a program on TV3 with Kwesi Pratt, Hot Issues. And I emphasized that we should not do that because I don't want to see in the future a President Akufo-Addo treated that way. So when this happened, somebody captured the video and put it out there in the social media and said, oh, KAA, how prophetic. The warning signs were there. You have some of our regional chairmen sit on national radio, spew sometimes unethical language.
Sir John said they were responding because Sir John said your NDC is going to get it boot for boot. And that's how he was elected.
You don't need to descend into the gutter. We are political leaders. The young ones are listening to us. We have to inspire them. We have to mentor them. So it's the language. Again, in 2015, when I was General Secretary, and I went to the NDC conference in Kumasi, I said it to them. I still have the speech I delivered, that for the foreseeable future, these are the two parties going to run the country. The way we treat each other, the decorum and civility that we show to each other will send signals to the Ghanaians. We shouldn't be so desperate about political power as to just attack each other.
That's the point of the winner takes all I was coming to. I'll come to that question. Yeah. The desperation about political. As far as Adom-Otchere, is not my favorite person, but it's okay.